Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Freeman again. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Tight end left. Here we set. Ready.
3rd and long. It's Newton. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And Cam Newton's not coming off the field. He'll keep the offense out to go for it on 4th. They will go for it. Now Newton. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Al Woods in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. And the Steelers set to take the field. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves them with 3rd down and just a yard to go. Look at this, a tight end carry. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3. But this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets them a new set of downs. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to have a 3rd down. To throw is Newton. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Clay. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Freeman again, a first down carry. And a big tackle there as the defender runs right through him. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Your
trip ends here, baby. Your trip ends here.
Number 59.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. Now the Bengals on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Play clock winding down. On 3rd down, it's Freeman. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Devontae Freeman, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals have got it back to a 1-score game. The point after try for Gostkowski. And it's good. The deficit 6, 20-14. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. Akeem Hunt now to return. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Lion.
Watch tight. Tight end right.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Here's Wentz to throw. And Stills over the middle. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Akeem Hunt as the first half is winding down. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill. Ready.
Here's Newton now on second down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
On second down, here's Newton. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Newton on first down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll make it second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Watch left, watch left. He's stop right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't...
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Jabal Sheard in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down.
You're not ready.
They are going to go for it. It's Newton. And now here is another interception. Reuben Foster picks it, and they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Lion.
Catch it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
On the left side, this is Stills. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through him. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. They run again with Hunt. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 11, and that's going to make it 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession, and so far they've done a nice job of that.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Double tight, double tight.
Great.
Another carry for the workhorse tonight, Freeman. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And he's got his man, that's Landry. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. On 2nd down, Freeman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Tight right. 180.
A shotgun snap for Newton. Finds his target, Montgomery. And some big-time hitting going on there. He is knocked to the ground. That goes for a gain of 31. On 1st down, Newton. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Randy Starks in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. So on 4th down, Marvin Lewis sends on the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And that will cut the lead down to 13. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to work.
Let's get off the field.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes.